everyone, and welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is episode 83, and this is a series where we're going to touch base and talk a little bit about various mythological creatures, beast beings, and the like, pulled from lore worldwide. I always like to preface by saying that I am not a linguist, so if I mispronounce something along the way, I apologize in advance. I do try my best. And today I'm actually kind of excited because this was a creature. I had a number of recommendations come out after I had asked some of my followers on various social media, what kind of creature feature would you want? And I've been working my way for the past, a couple months through a lot of the recommendations and learning a lot about various mythological entities that I'd never heard of before, and this one being one of them. So this one is actually going to come from Korea and from some various mythology and legends and folklore from that area, and it is a creature called has actually two names, Pulgasari or Bulgasari, either with a P or a B, but same creature, two different ways you could spell the name. And it's a sort of hybrid animal, so it's composed of various other body parts that are recognizable from other creatures, including a bear, elephant, rhino, tiger, and a bull. So these very fierce, powerful animal shapes are all kind of pushed together to create this creature. It is a bloodthirsty, or associated as very violent, bloodthirsty creature. It's known to continue to grow the more metal it consumes, which I thought was fascinating. I've never heard of, at least up until this point, a mythological creature that feeds on metal, and that's how it continues to grow and gain strength throughout. So the story where the Pulgasari comes from dates way back into the I think it's a Goryeo era of Korea. And that's important for one point of the story. But older mythological creature. And the story simply goes that there was a Buddhist monk on the run from the law. And this monk was fleeing for his life because of that era, that time period in Korea, Buddhism was illegal. And so, while he was fleeing from the authorities, he creates a small figure, this kind of animalist shape, probably from creatures that he assumedly thought were ferocious, and create this little model of some kind of beast out of the grains of rice, and started feeding it little needles. And as this kind of creature essentially came to life and started consuming the needles, it continued to grow and grow and grow, and pretty soon became this massive monster, so large and ferocious that the government actually sent a group of soldiers to slay this beast. And as they're approaching this monstrous creature, the Pulgasari, they're shooting at it with their arrows and striking at it with their swords, and not knowing that this is a creature that eats metal. So every time they swiped at it with a sword or shot it with an arrow, the Pulgasari would snatch the weapon up, gobble it down, and then get larger and larger and larger and continue to grow. So they quickly, before too long, decided that attacking it with weapons of traditional means was not going to cut it, and they adjusted their strategy and started attacking it by fire. Unfortunately for the soldiers, the Pulgasari, or Bulgasari, is immune to fire as well. So instead of harming the creature, the Pulgasari was able to gather some of that fire and literally carry it to another village, a nearby village, and set the whole village on fire. And kind of a big statement piece. But the interesting thing is, I think that's where my research ended, so I don't know what ever happened to the rest of the soldiers, if they fled or what happened. I do know there are variations on what has happened since then to the Pulgasari, being that either it's still alive somewhere in Korea, or it was eventually defeated by a different group of monks. And I don't think it's a creature that a lot of people have utilized yet in modern fantasy, and maybe one that I feel like I might have to figure out how to incorporate it in some kind of story or not, because again, very interesting for a creature to consume metal and continue to get stronger and stronger. There are a couple movies based about this creature, one called Pulgasari, one called Bulgasari. I think the one with the P was from South Korea and the one with the B was from North Korea, but two different movies that feature this creature of their mythos and folklore. Outside of that, that's kind of where my research came to an end at the moment. If you know anything else about the Pulgasari, let me know. If you have any questions for me about this or anything else, also reach out to me on this platform or any of my social media. And until next time, everyone, Skull.